Alright, so a lot of you have told me that I need to check out these character vignettes they've got up for Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. I really hope you all are right. A lot of you have said it's going to change kind of my outlook for the movie, which I'm 50-50 on right now. I'm going to see it, but I don't like some of the liberties they've taken with the story overall. It takes away from some aspects. We'll talk about it after I check these out, but there's 5 vignettes. I want to check them out and get my thoughts out there kind of on it. I hope it does sway me. I really hope it does sway me. But first off, I want to say throw a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell so you get notifications for all my stuff when it goes live. Appreciate the support. Throw a like on the video, throw some comments in there, let's talk about it. All that stuff helps more people see the stuff. So let's check it out, get into it. Let's see.
This whole town's been poisoned.
In our story, Claire Redfield is a runaway from Raccoon City. She's run away because she feels something was very wrong there. Now she's coming back to tell her brothers.
I'll save it.
Information.
Why are you back here, Claire?
Watch this.
You gotta help us, Claire.
Umbrella, we had a little incident. People are getting
The
sick.
looks of everything,
We have to contain this.
the way everything
Claire is a
looks,
rounded character. She has her own
for the most
journey.
part, looks great.
She isn't just there to shoot guns. I love how rebellious she is. Come on. She's an absolute badass. We're gonna take Umbrella down.
Like every time, like this isn't like a me making fun of people thing or whatever, but every time there's a woman in an action movie, they always say she's an absolute badass. She's supposed to be an absolute badass. We get that. That's why we're giving you the ticket for the movie.
Umbrella Corporation.
Ooh, that was interesting. I'm gonna run that back real quick. It's got Leon's welcome first day tags back here. That's so cool. I hadn't noticed that before. That's wild. I love that. So this is Chris, Wesker, Jill. I'm assuming this is Vickers, Brad Vickers. I don't know who this is supposed to be. I really don't know who this is. I see some stuff on the desk here, but I don't know who. Yeah, I don't know who this is.
Umbrella Corporation has.
This is the orphanage that they introduced in
If we don't contain
Resident Evil 2 Remake. Itchy Tasty.
Chris has to become more than just a small town hero. He has to become this action hero.
And that makes sense with Chris. That makes a lot of sense with Chris because Resident Evil 5,
it is very much an adaptation of the games.
when we see him again, it's action.
It's like I'm living
It's an action
in a
game.
video game, and it's really, really exciting.
Get behind me!
That was a little girl with him. Could that have been Sherry Birkin with him? Are they messing with
Welcome to
things like
Raccoon
that?
City is very much an origin story, so we see Leon Kennedy's journey. For fans, Leon's an action hero, but we really wanted to go back to the original second game, where he's quite a nerdy, reluctant hero.
Oh, that was a sick transition right there.
It was really important.
That was a
to
sick
cast the
transition
actor
right
that
there.
could bring Leon Kennedy to life. We did not want someone that looked identical to the games but had no emotional connection.
The fans are going to be happy with this movie because it's pulling very much from the games. Shall we go?
Throughout the movie, we see Leon become the
So-
character that gamers will recognize.
Oh, that was cool. That was cool.
A rocket launcher? Found it in first class.
That's a Leon! Okay, so that's something Leon would say. That's something Leon would definitely
I love
say.
horror films. I always go, if this really happened, how would I
Okay, Jill's my
survive?
favorite character.
For Jill, it's guns.
Really?
Let me put this out there.
Confiscate that.
Jill is a little bit crazy.
What would the worst way to die be?
You're a freak, Valentine.
She works in the police force in this small town.
Hey!
You snooze, you lose.
What?
It's Jill Sandwich now. She's very
Jill
loyal.
Sandwich.
Go get the others.
Jill Sandwich.
You don't mess with her.
Come on.
She's just so badass.
She's just so badass. Well, we know that. That's why we want to see the movie. We already know she's a badass.
Albert Wesker is known in the games to be one of the key villains of the story.
Okay.
We didn't want him to be a stereotypical villain.
You've got to get
We wanted him to
Wesker
like him.
right. Headshot.
The faster we find, the faster we can get out of here. We're seeing who he really is underneath the sunglasses.
Gotta get Wesker right. Oh, what?
That brings that version of Wesker.
We watch his character evolve and become the Wesker
Oh.
we all know.
Oh, I just got
It really does
goosebumps.
feel like we're making the movie version of the game.
I'm not really offering you a choice.
Okay. That one right there. That shot right there. That one. This right here is the best shot they have shown me as a fan of the game. Like, for my money, Resident Evil Remaster from 2001 has been ported several times. Is the best game in the series. As far as like all-encompassing what these games are about, creating the atmosphere, creating the tone, the horror, the suspense, the drama, the intrigue, the mystery, all that kind of stuff. That game encapsulates all of it just perfectly. So this shot right here tells me all I need to know about this movie. Forget casting choices, forget, what they're doing with the plot and what they're doing with the writing. This shot right here, this tells me all I need to know. This right here, if I was on the fence about going to see this movie night one or checking it out when it hits a streaming service, this right here bought my opening day ticket. This shot right here bought my opening day ticket. Moonlight Sonata playing. Of course, we know this is Rebecca Chambers and Chris Redfield, but they're changing things. It doesn't look like Rebecca and Barry are in this. It doesn't look like it. So whatever. We're not getting Bravo team either, I don't think. So, but that aside, putting that aside, what they're doing with it, this right here tells me all I need to know. All I need to know. Whoever's making this movie, if not the director, someone in the production pipeline is a fan of this game. This right here told me all I need to know. Those other vignettes were just whatever. The shot of Leon with the rocket launcher, I got it in first class. I think you have to get the rocket launcher, you have to beat Leon's scenario in Resident Evil 2 in under 4.5 hours or something like that. I think so. It could be kind of a play on that, you got to find the rocket launcher with a first class playthrough or something like that. It could be a nod to that. I took it that way. That's how I took it. But little nitpicky things, right? Okay, and it's not necessarily nitpicky, but to save an argument, I'm just going to say, on my part, it can be kind of nitpicky to say, okay, Claire is the catalyst. Ben is no longer a reporter. He's a conspiracy theorist, but he could still be a reporter, right? Ben could still be a reporter. We don't know he's not. Leon just unloading a clip and screaming. I mean, that little nitpicky things like that, I don't necessarily like. I like Claire and Leon happening upon this. It's scarier. It's more suspenseful, in my opinion, with the whole mystery, figuring out what's going on, instead of Claire just being armed with the knowledge that Umbrella is responsible for all this right from the jump. I don't necessarily like that change to the story, but whatever. Jill feels like an afterthought in this. She feels like she's just there, right? She feels like she's just there as a plot device for Wesker, and I don't like that, because Jill's my favorite Resident Evil character. Like, I hope they do more with her. Chris looks absolutely perfect. His backstory, of course, isn't what it's supposed to be, but we're not getting a 1-for-1. We're not. This was the last chance to get that perfect Resident Evil 1 movie. This was the last chance to get that movie, and we're not getting it now. I want to know what happened to James Wan's version of the movie that was floating around there for a few years. I want to know what happened to James Wan's involvement on this. But anyway, I think this is going to be better than what a lot of people think it's going to be. I'm interested to see how they tie everything together. Resident Evil 1 to Resident Evil 2, making it work properly, because there are shots where, from what I can gather, Chris Redfield has Sherry Birkin behind him. Leon and Chris are together when Leon fires the rocket launcher, obviously. And there's some other things like, you know, not Chris, but Leon and Claire coming out of the orphanage with Lisa Trevor. What looks like Lisa Trevor anyway. I mean, so, you know, we'll see. We'll see. That's nitpicky stuff, and we'll try to not be that way with it. With the other Resident Evil movies, it was okay, because from the jump, you're like, oh, they're just using the Resident Evil name and some monster designs. That's it. That's where the buck stops with this and Resident Evil. With this, it's different, because they were like, here's the mansion, here's everything else. Look, I am throwing out all expectations for this. I just want to go in. I want a good horror movie. I just want a good horror movie. I don't want Die Hard with zombies. I don't fucking want Die Hard with zombies. I want a horror movie. I want Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2. Those aren't action stories. Those are horror movies. I want a fucking horror movie. Don't give me action bullshit. I don't want it. There's action scenes. There's action sequences. I want horror, suspense, mystery, real human drama. I don't need Resident Evil 5. Not even Resident Evil 4. That's not what these stories were. If they try to make them that, it's going to fucking suck. I'm going to tell you right now. You can say whatever you want in the comments. Blog boys, whatever you can say, defend it, whatever, how you want. If this isn't horror, it's going to suck. And I'm going to come on here and fucking pan it. So, but I hope that's not what it is. Like I said, this shot right here tells me there's hope that this is going to be good. So, Resident Evil is not unloading clips into walls of zombies. It's sitting in the corner of a dark room counting your bullets and making sure you got enough shit to get away from that thing in the hallway. That's Resident Evil. So, we'll see. I'm going to leave it at that. If they put out another trailer or something like that, I'll check it out. I'll react to it. But as far as my thoughts on the movie, that's it. You know, I love Resident Evil so much. I love Resident Evil as much as Final Fantasy and Castlevania. I love it that much. And, like, I just want a good movie, man. I just really, as a fan of this franchise for years, since 1998, I didn't play it when it first came out, but since 1998, I've been a fan of this series. And I just want a good movie. They are good movies already. It's right there. Just make the fucking movies. How hard is that? Anyway, we'll see what this guy's vision is. But if this one sucks, let me tell you something. If this one sucks, which I hope it's good. I'm holding out hope. I hope it's good. But if this one sucks, I am done with directors saying, well, we wanted to pay homage to this, but I wanted to make my own vision. I'm done with your shitty vision. I don't want it. Service the fans. Look, fan service, you say what you want to. Look, we're fans buying these games for 50 to 70 bucks a pop for years and years are the only reason you have your chance to make your vision of this story. From now on, I hope this is good. I hope this is good. We've been burned so many times. This is the one. They're finally doing the mansion. This is the one that I've always said. For as far as video games, to ever do the mansion, they have to get the mansion right. This one has to be right. He's already making his vision for this, so it's already going to be different. I want it to be as good as it can possibly be. They've got to bring it. And if they don't bring it this time around, I'm done with seeing directors' vision of what they think these games should be. I'm done. If this one sucks, I'm done. If they fuck this movie up, I am done with video game movies. Don't ask me to go see another one. Don't ask me to react to another one, because I'm fucking done. So, we'll see. We'll see. I don't mean this to come off negative. I really don't. I really don't. I am excited because of this Wesker vignette. This Wesker vignette totally took me from 50% to about 75 to 80%. just on how things look and how things feel. But Wesker better be in with Umbrella. Wesker better be in with Umbrella from before the movie starts. Because if he just has a change of heart, you know, oh look, you know, maybe I should side with Umbrella, you know, as the movie's going. Right here, because that's part of the intrigue of the story. That's part of what makes the story work. That's part of the big Scooby-Doo mask pull-off whodunit. Is when you find out that Wesker is the bad guy, you know? You can play him up, you can make him more sympathetic or whatever, but Wesker has to be in from the jump. Stars are his guinea pigs. He begun Stars to test the bioweapons against, to get field data on the bioweapons against a trained military style unit. That's the whole reason Stars exists. And if they piss that down the toilet, it's gonna send the whole movie off the rails. So Wesker's gotta be behind it. He's gotta be behind it. That's what makes Chris Chris. That's what makes Jill Jill. Chris and Jill are forged in fire and are the backbone for the Resident Evil series moving forward. They are forged in fire. The fires of Albert Wesker and Umbrella's bullshit. That's why Jill is such a great character. That's why Chris is such a cool character. Because of the shit they went through. And they came out the other side even though all the cards were stacked against them. They came out the other side of this terrible, horrific nightmare. You know? Anyway, I'm done. Throw a comment in the video. Let me know what you all think. Hey, look, if you got a difference of opinion, if you want to come at me in the comments about my opinion on this, just know that you'll be met with stern resistance. I am putting my foot down on this. I want it to be good. I want it to be great. I want all the naysayers out there to be wrong. I want my expectations to be blown out of the water. I want my reservations to be snuffed out. But if they're not, I will make an I told you so video. And I don't ever, again, want to see a director's vision of a story that's already, that's ready for film. I don't want to see it again. If this one sucks, I don't want to see it again. I hope I'm wrong. Because at this point I'm not wrong. I'm looking forward to it. But I'm so defensive because we've been burned so many times. And if it's great, I will come on and say, look, I was wrong to be, well, not wrong, but you know, my reservations, my fears were unfounded. This was a great movie. This was excellent. I can't wait for the next one. I can't wait for the Resident Evil 5, 6, and Village mashup. Mashing up 5, 6, and Village. I can't wait for the 3-hour supercut of the Resident Evil 5, 6, and Village storyline. When you find out Ethan Winters is really Leon Kennedy and then it's all over. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Y'all have a great night. Be safe. Be good to each other. Keep rocking. Happy Halloween to all of you out there. Hope you had a good trick-or-treat night. Hope you had a good time. So, like I said, take care. I'll see you all in the next one.